He's going. We're back on the road. We got away just after lunch today, around lunchtime. No schedule, we're in no hurry. Unlike our previous trip down south, we did have a deadline to be home by. Neenee had to be back for the election. Not so this time. We can take 2 weeks, we can take 2 months if we want. We have to be back in October. Today is August the 10th. Happy birthday, Nightingale. My best mate back in Oz, Mark Nightingale.
All right, so this is number three.
Number three.
Number three, different.
Thanks for coming, brother.
Yeah.
The big 56 dude. Who would have thought you'd be spending your 56th birthday in prison? Cell block E, I believe. The bike following the truck there with the all too familiar Alright, we're loaded up this time, putting everything under a tarp, then we're bringing the roller back. It is the wet season, even though it is stinking friggin' hot now, it could just downpour at any time. So to keep a lot of the dust and the water off all these food packages and the cookies, shit ton of cookies there, gonna wrap it up in this tarp, then slide the cover over it. Got spare water there, emergency water if we get stuck anywhere. Our food esky there to be eaten on the run, and our suitcases and that will go in there. My trusty Hmong knife. Got me little vegetable Hmong knife in our toolbox there, along with first aid, rope and things like that. Shovel. Our mat for sitting down, things there for cooking. This big black thing, it's not a tent, it's a double swag that is like a fold out bed, built-in tent over it. Just fold it out, fold it back up, and it's got a thin bit of mattress on it. Keen to use that, see what that's like. Couple of camp chairs there and a small shovel. Dig myself out of any trouble we get into. Have we got a winch? Have we got a winch? No.
Travel music on!
Travel music on!
Let's travel!
Let's go!
Let's go!
You're trying to get too fancy, girl.
Let's go!
It hasn't bloody rained for weeks. The day we leave, oh well, it just adds to the adventure, doesn't it? And it cools things down.
Ban Hai village.
And this is Ban Hai, is it?
Ban Hai.
Okay.
Bạc Ngưm.
I've been fanging for a coffee, guys, so I'm going to get a coffee. I think I left the keys in the car. Nice trees along the side of the road here, a nice market. It was a good place to stop. Yeah, bloody keys. Cool little restaurant there, roadside restaurant. If you're ever looking for coffee along the side of the road, who sells it? Keep an eye out for these tins. Carnation milk and sweet milk, condensed milk. Cafe non?
Hả?
Coffee non miên? Coffee non miên?
Phê nông dền.
Rồi.
Đúng rồi, để cái lốt. Ngay 2.5.
Look at that. Up there. That's okay.
Easy.
No, it's okay.
Anh Ron.
Oh.
Chạy được không?
More coffee up there. And pizza. I thought I could smell chicken and chips. Lady.
สิไปอันน่ะแขวงไซสมบูรณ์
Cup Jay.
ขอบใจ
Did they wave?
They not.
They not wave?
Scared me.
Grumpy, not happy fellas sitting out in the sun.
พอดีตำรวจเพิ่นนะคะ
That was easy.
ตรวจวัคซีนเนาะ
They didn't want license, no rego papers or anything like that, just vaccine card check.
They just charge for vaccine.
For those wondering, those who are vaccinated are free to travel throughout the provinces of Laos. It's the same as our gym. You need to be vaccinated to go to the gyms and that here. Not so much restaurants and that, but places like that and inter-provincial travel, most certainly. So it does pay to be vaccinated. It's the only way moving forward. Also, I've mentioned it before, just for those who are new or have missed those videos, Laos did go ahead and start vaccinations on foreigners and Lao people at the same time. It did not matter whether you were a foreigner living here, a foreigner stuck here, or a Lao citizen. There was no discrimination between any of them. They were just vaccinating all people equally. So if you are a foreigner stuck here and vaccinated, you'll have the same rights as a Lao person to be able to travel wherever you like, within reason. Except for places that are in strict lockdowns and things like that. Okay, we have just turned off Route 13 onto the road to Sikhottabong. Sikhottabong is 138 kilometres along this road. We will not, but that is not our aim for today. We're just looking for somewhere to stop tonight. Yeah, so we're just going to be taking our time getting to Sikhottabong. There's a lot of villages we want to check out on the way, so even though it's only 138 kilometres to there from here, it may take us a couple of days. There is a village up here we turn off to the right once we cross the Nongbouathong River, and there's a waterfall up in the jungle in there somewhere, so definitely want to check that out. And then we've got to make our way back out to this main road and then keep heading north, and there's other villages up on the left Neenee wants to see. So like I said, we have no schedule. Whatever takes our interest, we'll be stopping and checking out. But this is the main road to Sikhottabong. Saisenbun hasn't been open very long. I think it's it was a very militarised province, restricted area up until how long ago? How long has Saisenbun been open? Since 2015?
Not sure.
Yeah, I was close. I've only been able to gain access to it since 2013, just watching this traffic. 2013. Up until then it was a restricted zone, a special restricted military zone. Then he said because there was a lot of Nongbouathong there, which is Hmong who are pretty much pissed off at the government, you know, who were anti-Lao, anti-communist.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones who were fighting alongside the CIA against the P.D.R. So it will be very interesting to see what the feel of it is like up here, the feel for foreigners travelling there, tourists, you know, even Neenee herself travelling there compared to all other places we've travelled throughout Laos. I don't think I've mentioned it previously in this video, but if you haven't guessed already, we are on the way to Saisenbun, and then to back in the 60s and 70s, the most secret place on earth at the time, which was Longcheng. Another checkpoint.
Oh, not checked.
No. We are only a couple of k's, about 5 kilometres along the road off Route 13, along the road to Saisenbun. Just crossed the Mahavong river, which is just around this bend. Look at this. And found this accommodation. We've stopped in this area mainly because there's a couple of waterfalls. One along this dirt road, about 20k into the jungle then, and then there's another one about 10k up here we'll be exploring tomorrow. It's after 5 now. We didn't want to get halfway along this waterfall road and find out the guest house up near the waterfall is closed. We would be making our way back in the dark. So we've pulled the pin. Once we found this little guest house here, little cabins just spread out on either side of this home here. Now this is it. Let me shoot it off. 70,000 kip, which is $7 US. Not even that now, going by the...
No.
Hello. How you doing? The door was open.
I always.
There you go.
Oh, well.
We've just backtracked. We're just back across the bridge that we came. Not even a kilometre. Bridge is just around this corner. We're on the other side of the river there. We're over here getting the food. Just come show you this sign. It is the Neenee Bridge, not the Nongbouathong River that I was telling you about, constructed by P.D.R Mining Limited. P.D.R is the tallest mountain in Laos. Pu meaning mountain, bear is a mountain. Geez, there's some serious buffalo around here too. Some real big buggers. Big mother bugger over there. Anyway, this is where we're at. Neenee's in there chatting to the ladies of the household now. Just I was going to say a quiet little village, but it ain't because of these bloody trucks. And we're only a couple of hours, seriously, not even that, from the centre of Vientiane. As soon as you turn off that main road, Route 13, it just got very rural, very provincial. very quick. Lady. Anyway, this is where we are, guys. Down this cool little here, little restaurant. Getting some steak Lao. You're going to make up for me, and beer and ice, and another serious buffalo there. Oh, those onions on there smell a bit alright. This is their kitchen. Dishwashing area there. Just an outdoor work area, hey? And a big, very big fat dog. A big fat dog. You see this fat dog? Dewey. Dewey Lao. Hello, the lady.
Fat.
And down
There's a
there
baby.
we have a little one.
Baby.
Hello, the lady.
La baby.
Yeah.
Lisa.
And a cool place just across the road. Caught my eye when I was walking up here. It does look like it's right in the jungle, doesn't it? And that's what surprised me as soon as we turned off Route 13, how thick it got all of a sudden, how jungly. Yeah. There's another one there. Rent or sell home. There you go. There's a phone number, guys. Probably pick it up for about 10 grand or so. Well, maybe not. Now, it is places like this, just sitting here, you could just sit out with a nice iced beer in hand and watch the day go by. And the friggin' trucks.
You know,
With the
before communist.
oh,
Communist
took
government.
okay.
Yeah, the last government.
Before
This
communists
village,
come
yeah,
in.
The family of the who worked with the Lao government before
communism.
Yeah. In this with about 500 family, four village.
Yeah, just in around here.
Yeah, just this family.
So the first few years after the takeover, there was a lot of military and things like that. But now
good.
now that they understand the policy in the government, and he's happy he stayed here in Laos.
แล้วถามว่าเจ้าก็มีความสุขอยู่บ่อยู่
โอ้ยความสุขหลาย
Oh, very
ดี
Yeah.
กว่าระบอบเก่าระบอบ
It's
ใหม่
good more than before
Yeah.
in the
It's-
own
it-
government.
Okay,
Ah,
yeah.
before the
I
war,
have heard other people say that. Yeah. They forget
It's
how.
more much better and better.
Yeah.
He says.
That's very good, delay.
มานี่ระบอบเก่าหั่นนะเฮาผู้ทุกข์คนยากเรียนแต่ป .6 เดือนนี้ได้ผู้ทุกข์คนยากเรียนมาอุดมจบหมด ตะกี้เขาบ่มีเงินบ่ได้ได
He said
พอจะป .6 ได้ก็แล้วบ่มีเงินติดระบอบเก่านะเดี๋ยวนี้ลูกเต้าผู้ว่าทุกข์ยากได้เรียนน่ะม .6 เจิม
Yeah. He
เปิด
said
กว้างแต่ว่า
he
โอ้ยไกล
compare between the own government and Lao government.
Yeah.
Is new government now is much better because if you have money or you don't have money, it's the same. You can give children is have a high education to
Whether you have
university
money or not.
master degree and every. But before it's just secondary
Just secondary
Yes.
school.
secondary school that's it.
Education,
If
yeah.
you have
Now
no
you've-
money,
now you've got-
you cannot
Okay,
go to
yeah. Now,
university.
I have heard stories about that the government previous to the communist government wasn't doing much with the country anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are just stories I've heard, but it is good to hear from somebody who had a lot to do with the previous government before the communist takeover and how they feel about the government
เรา
now.
ก็เป็นผู้หนึ่งอ้ายก็เป็นครอบครัวอันคนสัมมนาเก่า
สำนักเก่าแต่ว่า
because when the change the government
Mm-hmm.
Lao government take some people who is not go abroad come to seminar
Yeah.
training
Training, yeah.
training for
Yeah.
how about the policy how about the
Yeah, yeah.
the new government doing yes he know well about that and agree about that
It's just to educate them on what is happening in the country and
แต่ว่าคือว่าหลายอันนี้เขาก็ฟังเนาะหลายคนคือว่าบ่ดีจังซั่นจังซี่
โอ้ย
ไปสัมมนาแล้วถึกอันทรมานถึกฆ่าถึกหยังแม่น
บ่มีเขาใช้ให้ป้ายสีเด้อนี่เด้อเขาอยากล้มระบอบใหม่อยากล้มระบอบใหม่นะระบอบเก่ามันบ่ดีแล้วเขาใช้ให้ป้ายสีบ่ดีนั่นนี่เอาสัมมนาไปขาไปตีบ่มี
no have
no have
fake news before we heard
ดีที่ทางพรรค
many people who are angry with the Lao government is so bad who is come to the seminar the Lao government just take them to queue take them to
yeah.
some bad thing like the communist like they understand the communist like it's very bad but the real is not like that
Right, so they were just made
just
like
come to
stories.
train
Just
and learn about what the government policy to
Yeah.
make people in around
Understand.
the country is have education, have good thing, have good life, have happiness life, something.
just asked if he lived in this
แต่ว่าระบ
area
อบใหม่
during
ที่
the
มา
war.
เนี่ย
He was in the
มา
military.
เป็นเขาเอาไปสัมมนานะ
ด้วย
แต่ทำงาน
He was in the military for
ไปหาผู้
the other side.
ทำเพี้ยนหาการเมือง
for the royalists.
before
The Royal Military. Right.
เอามาเบิ่งแล้วมันต่างหลาย
After that,
ต่าง
1975, he go to train,
To retraining. Yep.
and
Like-
after that, he know everything.
what would we call them? Like a re-education camp.
Yeah.
He was in the military for the Royal Military against the P.D.R. and went to a re-education camp to teach them in the policies of the new government coming in.
ทำคิดเรื่องเรื่อง
As
เรื่องของเขา
you heard earlier on before,
เรื่องศาสนาพุทธ
he's very happy that he stayed here. He thinks it is a better place now than what it was before the takeover. Yeah, this is just one man's opinion, of course, but it is actually good to speak to somebody who were fighting against the communists and how they feel about Lao now. And
เรื่องนี้
72, you said? You're 72.
Yeah, he is
72, he's got more hair than me. Is that his daughter? His looks out?
อันเมียเจ้าว่าอายุ50
เมีย
his wife
He was 50.
เสื้อสีบัวไม่ลูกว่ะ
ลูกสาว
สาว daughter
Okay. The wife is 55 and doesn't dye her hair or anything, but I can't get over how young this man is.
แม่น่ะแม่กับบ่มีเป็นกำพร้าเนาะเฮียนแต่ฮอดป .6 เฮาบ่มีเงินในสุกอยู่เนาะเนี่ยในจะป .6 แล้วก็เขามาจับไปเป็นทหารก็เป็นเฮาเรียกสารโฟนี่แหละโฟนี่กราฟีนี่กราฟีเนี่ยม็อกนี่นะเวลาลาริบที่ได้นี่นะ
he do phone สื่อสาร
สื่อสาร
Radio operator.
เอานี่ราดิโอหรือกราฟีม็อก
Morse code.
ที่ลาลาที่ตาลาลาที่ลาลาริ
Yeah.
เอาเฮียนมาเฮียนน้องล่วงนี้170มา75น้องล่วงปักเวียงจันทน์นี่นะปอยอยู่ปักเซ่ดิมาเฮียน170มาเฮียนอยู่หั่น75เอาปลดปล่อยเนาะมาระบอบนี่นะมันก็ยุ่งยากนะแน่ๆเนาะประกาศเนาะเอาทั้งปฏิการก็วุ่นวาย
time is very difficult
พวกต้นไปเป็นปฏิการ
ทุก government
มาวุ่นวายมันก็ยุ่งยาก
Yeah.
in that time
Yeah.
old and new.
There was a coalition
Yeah.
for a year or so.
มา
Yeah.
เดี๋ยวนี้แล้วนี่นะลูกเต่าเขาก็เป็นเจ้าเป็นนาย
They wouldn't
ได้
be
ได้
just-
เฮียน
His children now is
ได้เฮียนฮอดม.7 ไปเฮียนปี5
high
ตี
education.
ผลบ่ขึ้นว่าโอ้ยลูกบ่ก็นี่ซ้ำมาหน้า
University.
ลูกถ้าโตเก่าทหารเก่าบ่ให้มันเฮียนบ่พอมันหัก
In Lao
หักหัว
government
การเมืองของ
policy
มัน
is the
เฮียน
same.
มาเรียบร้อยแล้วนี่
Not just
Job
oh,
tonight,
his
Mat.
own military is cannot let to high education. No, the same.
Yeah,
like
everybody is
the
equal.
same.
Where it wasn't before.
They're doing good.
Okay.
อร่อยแล้ว
What makes this even more interesting is some of these things Neenee did not know because her father was on the other side of the military. He was in the P.D.R. Lao.
ของพรรษาเนี่ยเขาไปไหว้
This
พระ
man was with the royalist
ก็
army.
มีอ่า
Kapjay.
thank you very much
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, so he's
เฮ็ด
sort
ต่า
of
งประเทศ
filled Neenee in on a lot of things that
ลูกผู้ห
she
นึ่ง
didn't know.
2-3 คน
Not what went on behind the scenes. She knew it was happening, but heard it from somebody who actually went through what he did. You know, somebody who was fighting for the other side.
อยู่แต่2 เท่า
ของเขานี่ลูกสาวผู้หนึง
And
เพื่อนคนนู้น
as the lady said, this whole village did help the previous government, and they're here and living happy now. You know, once he was retrained and got to understand what the government was bringing in, and the type of education people can get equally now, no matter who you are. He's very happy with the place. You know. There's going to be a lot of people who will argue that point, who had to flee and that, but this is one man's life. This is his point of view and the people in this village.
โอ้ย81คนไหน
81.
Since 81. Wow, I left school in 81. I
มาตั้งบ้านเพื่อนอยู่นี่81
just asked how long they've had this shop here.
อ๋อเอาจะเอาอยู่
That's 40 years.
Yeah.
See, sit. Nhúc nhúc.
หาก็เข้าใจ
Nhúc nhúc.
48วะ
Yeah, I'm just happy, you know, pleased that he was so happy to want to share that. Because no doubt there'd be a lot of people wondering how some of those ex-military guys who were left behind, who didn't make it out, how they were treated, you know. There are a lot of stories floating around of what happened to them and stuff like that, but here's one village, 400 or 500 families, and they're still here. This is one thing I never tire of when on the road. It's the best part of the day, finding somewhere to stop and finding little restaurants and people like this. A meal, a couple of glasses of beer. Does not get much better than this. Welcome to our next trip, guys. Lots planned. I'm not telling you where we're going. You've probably got a fair idea where our main first destination is, but you have no idea where else we're going after that. And any money you won't guess. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get back in there, enjoy this beer and the company of this family, and see you tomorrow. Thank you for tagging along.
ไปกลางเทศกันต่อกลางเทศ